Good morning, Columbia family. I'm Kristen Sommerfeld, and I'm excited to share a little bit with you about one of my favorite spiritual practices, gardening. Now, for a long time, I really struggled with the idea of spiritual practices because I wasn't connecting to a lot of the practices I saw that asked me to sit quietly and reflect in one version or another. I'm a person who is pretty restless, and I'm not necessarily restless for something to come, but I'm restless in response to all the things that are happening in the world around me. I experience the world through my emotions, and then I want to respond in action. So that pattern of feeling, doing, makes it really crucial for me to learn how to slow down, but it also makes it really difficult for me to be still. So I had to learn to separate practices that achieve stillness and practices that achieve slowness. And gardening is one of those perfect slow practices. It allows me to put my hands to work, but it also allows me to kind of slow down and turn off my mind. It's like the gravity is different in a garden. It doesn't matter how short or small a chore is. If I go out to do one small thing, inevitably I'll be out there for hours. And then somehow I'm never upset at those extra hours that I spend. And so gardening not only helps me slow down, it also reminds me continually that we are called to be co-workers with God in bringing together heaven and earth. In the garden, I can create good soil. I can remove the rocks. I can remove the thorns. I can add compost and water and the perfect amount of sunlight, create conditions that are perfect for whichever seeds I'm planting. But I can't actually make the seed grow. So conversely, if I planted seeds and never came to till them, they probably wouldn't grow to maturity either because they'd be smothered by weeds and thorns and encounter rocky soil and probably be scorched in the sun, and rabbits and birds and all sorts of things would come eat them, or in Georgia, tomato worms and squash borers and beetles and slugs and all sorts of things would inhibit their growth. So there's this mutuality in gardening that helps me remember that in the world, there's a mutuality as well. We are reliant on God to help bring change about, to change hearts and minds, but undeniably there's a role for us to play as well. And so as you are considering new spiritual practices this season, I encourage you, whether it's in a garden or just in your backyard, pay attention to the way that God is helping creation grow, and pay attention to the role that you might have to play in the garden and in the world. May it be so. Amen.